Yeah, what's up with it? Do it cause I love it and I stuck with it. We ain't with the subbing in the cut with it. Please none of the talks, I heard enough of it. Like, what you gonna do? Where you at? Who you with? You ain't really about this, don't talk about it. Really on the move, on the map, never slip. Keep your hands to your lips, don't talk about it. Real eyes, realize all the time. Stand on it, if we said it, we don't walk around it. Loose lips, ain't shifts, red cup, blue strips, new phone, who this? No, we don't allow it. Really on go, I don't know what's an off day. Now we on road, came from smoking in the hallway. Now we got
Hello, all. Welcome on this wonderful Sunday night, because it's 8. 8 here is what, 9 your spot?
Yeah, it's 9 o'clock.
Okay, cool business. So welcome, everybody. Yeah, we know we are on a Sunday, but, we adjust to life's circumstances and stuff. So we are here. We didn't want to miss an episode this week, so here we are.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Somebody I gotta still get adjusted to the mustache and the beard thing going.
Oh, yeah. I know a lot of people saying that. They're so used to me having a clean face.
Now you looking all distinguished.
I don't know about distinguished, but it's different.
It is. It's a little different. Yeah, it's just a little different. Hey, Kevin.
Mm-hmm.
Oh man. So yes. So
Hey, before we get started, I want to give a shout out to Allen University football team. 5-1. One on Friday night, we 5-1. Most teams setting records, making history. I think it's the most wins in a season in for school history. And it's something else. We had a first 100-yard rusher since the beginning since they brought back the program. So yeah, doing it up.
okay, that's what's up. Did you just really fix your chopped lips on the
My bad.
rub it with your
You
You put it on and then rub it with your finger.
Anyway, why are you critiquing how I mess with my lips?
I'm just because you just did this and then you went and just like I don't understand if you already had put some on why you went back over it with your finger.
I might have had too much. Lips might have been juicy. I don't know. Whatever.
Okay.
Might have had to wipe the drool off of
it. You might have. Just might. Oh man, that's what's up. That's what's up. Good stuff. So yeah. I was gonna ask your week was.
I was about to ask you how your week was.
We was on the same thing. My week was a week. It's it's interesting. Always.
What was interesting about
it? The people shit and shenanigans is what's interesting to me about it. The shit.
That's always gonna be.
I mean, it is. But sometimes somebody keeps that little special trick in the bag. You'd be like deep down in the bag, and then they come out with it, and you be like,
surprise,
bitch! Did you just really just that's the trick you kept that motherfucker in the bag. That was your trick. Yeah. So it just be sometimes interesting with people shit and shenanigans. But I can say I handle the shit and shenanigans differently than I have before. So it makes it just where it brings the awareness, and because I am observant, I notice, but my response and reactions are different. So I'll be like, okay, guess you thought that was gonna piss me off, huh? But it didn't. rattle. I just noticed it for what it is and keep it moving. So yeah.
Hmm.
hmm That's it. So other than that, but the week was beautiful. Oh, the weather here it didn't cool down. We didn't had a cool front coming.
Man, that's it right there.
Baby. Oh, it feels freaking amazing outside. Like you can ride in the car with the windows down kind of weather. It feels amazing.
Mm,
So I am definitely loving that part to the fullness thereof. And
mm.
got out the house yesterday with me and Santi and hung out and Lord, new experiences. We went into a corn maze.
See, that's the beginning of a scary movie, and that's
That
how
that's
y'all don't come back.
that was on the list of the shit that I never saw myself doing. List. That's what that
Mm,
list was on. But it's fall. So these are the list on the list that people do during the fall.
mm-hmm.
So yeah, we adventured into a corn maze.
Did y'all find some
Mhm.
corn?
Yeah, it wasn't nothing but corn. Like it was literally a big ass corn field with a trail in between the corn. But it was a big ass. That's all you saw was fucking corn. Corn was taller than us. It was corn. Just
Mm,
everywhere you look, it was corn. Like felt like we were in the movie Children of the Damn Corn. It was
mm.
corn. Yeah, I was like, boy, somebody light a match, it'll be popcorn everywhere.
Only you
Hey,
think
at a
about
point,
popcorn.
look, at a point when we went around in circles just one too many times for me, it was
So
like
how does that work? You just go and do what?
so the way that they had it, it was kind of scavenger hunt like. So they pretty much made a game out of it. So there was an easy one for like the little kids, and then it was a medium and hard. So you go through these trails and you go to the locations they got. And
Mm-hmm.
for whatever you find at the location, you stamp it out. And you're
Mm-hmm.
supposed to, at the end, you're supposed to get a prize or whatever if you stamp all of them. Matter of fact, let me see, because I still got the shit sitting over here.
That's one shit. See,
So yeah, had a choice of weapons and locations, and the little
see, that
animals.
was a setup. It said a choice of weapons.
Yeah, like the weapons is on here that you
Mm-mm.
find, stuff like that. So
That was a setup.
it was a little scavenger hunt. You go through there, and you're running into other people that are out there too. And one was like a 3 hour, and the other one was like an hour and a half. The kids had 30 minutes. Somebody wanted to pick the hard part with this 3 hour. So I think after about 30, 45 minutes, we was like, ooh, yeah. So which way we go to get the fuck back out of here? Because I'm like tired of corn already. Um, you know, we one thing we gonna improvise.
Mm-hmm. That's what I said. Yeah.
So it was like, ooh, it's almost 6:30. It's gonna start getting dark in a minute. We need to start heading that way. Went around in about 2 more circles. Oh, plan B.
Mm-mm.
We walked right on through that corn, straight line to the straight on through the corn.
Mm-mm.
Couldn't hold that little tracks up.
Mm-mm. Y'all doing too much.
But we got on some rides and stuff yesterday. And hey, Hope, we got on some rides and stuff yesterday. And I ain't done that in a long time. But it was cool.
What rides you get on?
Yeah, all kind of little rides, little pirate
Mm-hmm.
ship, the little thing going, merry-go-round. The only
Mm-hmm.
thing I can tell you one thing I did not get on. That shit that go take you all the way the fuck up and just come down and drop your ass.
Oh yeah, yeah,
Nope.
yeah.
Let me tell you what I did not do. That
Yeah,
shit.
that's a good one.
Yeah. Oh, no.
Why not?
Mm-mm. So first of all, that is a hell no for me. I wasn't doing it. I know my limits. Second of all, which was crazy because apparently everybody remembered when that black boy died on that same like
Yeah,
ride
yeah,
years ago.
yeah.
So like people was
I can
getting on
see
their head
that.
was like, hey, yeah, I remember when that boy died on there. And I was sitting like this. I was like,
I hate when people do that. Like right before you get on, hey, y'all remember when
they
such
was
and
like, and
such?
they already was snapped in too. And the girl
I
was
was
looking.
like, bro. I'd be like, nah, bro.
She started cussing. The girl that was on the ride already started cussing her friend out. And the mom was like, stop cussing. And it was like, baby, y'all still can get off. Because I just looked at all the people getting on. I was like, I would tell you. Yeah, that wasn't my type of hike. I nicely passed that on up. And I was like, whoo, I see y'all. I'm going to the bumper cars. Holla at you later. And
Shit, the
went
bumper
on.
car worse.
You know, they
You
was
have
like,
come out there with all kinds of whiplash and bruises. And don't get into one of them ragged ass bumper cars with the little plastic lip. Mess around and take a whole layer of skin off your leg. Trying to get in and out that shit. That shit.
oh man, it was cool though. And like I said,
So
it
it's a
felt really good.
carnival?
Yeah, you know, a little harvest thing that they
Okay.
were doing with the festivities, pumpkins everywhere, and little apple cannon shooting shit. That shit was sounding like a gun. I was like,
Apple cannon?
yeah, so it was in the cannon, but it was shooting the way it was shooting like a big gun. I was like, what the fuck got over here? Look at they was loading it with
That's
apples,
crazy.
but but
That's kizzy, man. Kizzy.
I was like, I need the real deal. That ain't gonna do nothing for me right there, but make me mad. But yeah, so no, it was a good, outing to get out the house, and like I said, it felt good outside, so it was cool.
That's what's up.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
That
So,
is what is up.
and how was yours, sir?
It was busy, but it was chill. I can't complain.
Okay.
Just been feeling the weather change. But other than that, that's it. I think that's why I've been started my
Mm-hmm.
well my VA stuff. Hey, that shit was funny because like I went to the doctor, right, and they were looking at my
Mm-hmm.
knee. He said, "Oh, I can see your knee is kind of swollen." I said, "Yeah." He said, "Which one is the bad one?" And I was like, "Oh, that's."
Both of them.
I said, my right." He said, "But your left is swollen." I said, "Wait a minute, give us some time, player. Give us some time." So he was like, "Okay, we got to go to certain movements and stuff." So I did the movements. He was like, I did it with the left. He's like, okay, I could feel it. It was not as much because it's swollen, so I think it's grinding. I said, yeah. He said, let's do the right. I said, you ready? He said, yeah. Man, I left my leg. He said, ooh. I was like, I told you. I asked you, were you ready? He said, I'm sorry. That was so unprofessional. That was so unprofessional. And I was like, well, I told you. I asked you, were you ready? He was like, I wasn't expecting that. I said, I know. I said, you ready again? He said, yeah. And I did it again. He was like, ooh. And then he started to dry heave. He was like, I'm looking like, what kind of doctor are you? Like, this should be
I
like
think
second
he's just
nature.
out to list of experiences, stuff he has not experienced.
I was like, it should be second nature. Like, but I guess it ain't. So and he was like, yeah, that's not supposed to happen. He said, and I could just feel it. It's like, that's the weird part about it. I said, yeah. I said, yeah, buddy. The day in the life of my knees. So, well, other than that, yeah, that's is all really.
Okay, that's what's up. That's what's up.
Yeah.
Um, so we know the I guess you could say the talk in the news world is about the Kirk Franklin documentary.
Oh, I thought you were talking about the shit that just happened in Israel.
No, I didn't. I haven't heard about that.
Oh, man, they declared war and all this shit. Yeah,
Oh
it's
Lord,
getting thick over there.
It's always something going on in this world of ours.
It is. It is.
Always. But referring to tonight's topic,
Yes.
yes,
Kirk
it
Franklin.
is. We're talking about the Kirk Franklin documentary.
Mm.
So,
Well, for everybody who hasn't seen it, it's called Father's Day. You need to check it out.
yeah, and it is on YouTube. It's
Mhm.
30 something minutes long, about 30 minutes long, 34 minutes and 41 seconds long.
Mhm.
But it basically details, well, I won't say detail because there's a lot missing for me that I'm inquiring mind and I need to know. So there's some brief information in there that speaks on how he discovered who his father was. Um, yeah, so it's I don't even know where
It's
I want to start with that.
it's you know what? Well, I'm gonna start it off then. I can start it off.
Wait,
It's
first
it,
before you go there, hold on. Anybody watching and you've seen it, type yes in the comments. If
yes,
you've
do
seen
that.
it, plan to see it, or not even interested, just don't put that in there.
No, I'm not even gonna say not even interested. If you're not interested, you still need to just see it just to understand where a lot of these kids where they're
Mhm.
coming from, because he only difference is between him and a lot of kids' experiences is he's famous, and so he gets to tell his story. But there's a lot of this, sad to say, this happens more often than not, and watching it, it tugs at your heartstrings because you feel the pain in his words. You see the pain on his face, and then for me, it seemed like nobody gave a fuck about how he feel. It was always about how they felt. And I'll get it. I'll dive into it more as we go along. Why I say that?
Okay, so starting off, um, and I agree. After I watched it, I was like, damn, because of course his new album is called Somebody's Son.
Mhm.
Um, we chose to go with the topic of somebody's child because it's happening a lot. I know in the last couple of months, I've seen so many horror stories of men finding out that kids that they believe that they fathered and have been around these kids for years, growing, raising them, and then turn out to find out they are not the father. Um, so it's happening a lot. In the end, in a lot of situations that's happening, the mother is being killed for her carrying on this secret. Um, so, I mean, if anything, it affects the children, of course, that are involved, and it affects the man. Uh, I wouldn't want to be building a relationship with a child that and thinking this kid is mine, and turn out that kid is not mine. That's I couldn't even imagine. Well, I can't imagine, but I know there was a situation where someone pulled this stunt on my brother some years back, um, and she did it because she knew how my daughter was being taken care of. So she saw that, and she was like, "Well, shoot." my family can't do it. So if this is his kid, she's gonna get them same benefits as her daughter is getting. So what ended up happening was, of course, it's supposed to be my brother's kid. We're not gonna treat her any different. She got whatever my daughter got. There was no treatment different. I personally felt like something wasn't right because I was like, man, that bond that my brother has with my daughter, I expect to have with his daughter, and it just wasn't like that. That family connect wasn't there. That feeling, but it was like, of course, I'm a lover anyway because it's supposed to be my niece. Well, I think, and I kept telling him, I was like, it don't hurt to just get her tested and see, just to be sure. It finally took one of his coworkers to tell him, say, man, this happened to me, and I raised this kid for 18 years only to find out this kid wasn't even my kid. So that convinced him to go get the little girl tested. He gets the little girl tested. It wasn't his. And at this time, I think she was 18 months at the time when we found out she didn't belong to us. And of course, she had his last name and everything. Um, so, to see my brother in that type of pain was just like, damn, it's heartbreaking. It's a time I can say that I did not want to be right. Um, but he was just close enough to that time of where if he would have waited a little longer, he would have been responsible for her for the rest of his life. Um, so even after he still did what he was doing, he still bought for, still got her on weekends and when he was off and stuff, still did stuff for it just kind of wore off, especially once her biological dad got out of jail. So once he got out of jail, he didn't want him, of course, around. So that put that wedge there. We're still, familiar. We know what she's, doing and going on. I was working with an auntie not too long ago. So, we know what she got, going on. There's no animosity or anything there, but that was a situation where it hit close home to us. So I couldn't imagine how somebody else feels, but I know how that felt for us, um, going through that. 'Cause it's a lot of men getting done in that situation. That 2 year hit, and it's like, hey, surprise, you're not the father, but you are the father. So, but you want to keep that off. What?
I say, like, it's funny that you said that because, like, Kanye West said it in Gold Digger. He said 18 years, 18 years. On the 18th year, you find out it's not his. Like, that's some foul shit. Like,
Yeah,
and your perspective is a different one because you're speaking of it from a family member's perspective. Like, you're seeing the pain, you're seeing the journey of thinking, oh, I got I got a niece, I got a nephew, and next thing you know, you come to find out that ain't the case. And it's that point of view is not talked about either, about how extended family is impacted, not just the mother or the father mainly, but 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 how the extended family, especially when it's the first, or especially when it's
man,
the other,
man.
other special child, the one that I'm not gonna say special, but the one everybody's excited to have. And like, it might be the first boy or the first girl, and you're like, oh shit, finally got a niece
Exactly,
or nephew, and blah 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 blah, and come to find out it ain't even. Yeah,
exactly. And
that's
it was
rough.
like, it was. I think the craziest part is because we knew what the situation was, so of course we were helping. She needs to go to the doctor when somebody and she can't get there. One of us is doing it with making sure she
Yeah,
eats. all that kind of stuff. And the raggedy part to it was when we went to take the little girl home and we had the paternity test in our hand. And, it was like me, my brother, and my mom, and we going there. And we were like, hey, she's not ours. And gave the thing. And all of them had that deer caught in headlights, like, oh shit, the jig is up. Even her mama knew. And she's like,
see, that's part. And that's one of the things I wanted to talk about because, I know that the documentary, it hit on a lot of stuff, and it kind of made me sit back and look at things, because like you could take this subject in so many directions, because hell, you can have a child grow up in a 2-parent home and the child still feel like they don't have nobody. Like, you could grow up with your mom or a dad and still feel disconnected, shit like that. But I'm gonna keep on course when it comes to this subject. But how it played out for him was his stepfather, the one who he thought was his father, he buried, and he had animosity towards him.
Man.
And I was just like, okay.
That part.
Yeah.
With me, because he made the comment that all his life he hated the wrong person.
Yep.
Ooh, how can you imagine how a person feels to find out that this person one is now deceased?
Mm-hmm.
So there's no amends you can make because this person now is gone. But you've hated this person, a special kind of hate for this person all this time, and then you find out that's not even the person
had nothing to do with it.
Hating. Like,
he had nothing to do with it. And I think what made it worse or harder for him is the fact that the dude never opened his mouth, said anything bad, or let him know that he's not the right one. He took all of that stuff and he said the only thing he can give me is, I understand how you feel.
Yeah.
And he said that because he knew the deal. He knew what was going on. He understood it, but he also knew how he was trying to. I think he was trying to protect Kirk, the relationship between Kirk and his mom, which I think was some shit. Which is a whole nother conversation, because that dynamic was very interesting to me. And again, like I said from jump, it's like that's the story of a lot of people in this world. That's the story of a lot of people. You know your mom, you love her to death, but you can't fuck with her. And that's a worst place to be.
Man, because it's like 23 years that he hadn't seen his mom.
Mm-hmm.
And then when he do see her, it's bringing this information because somehow the rumor got back to her, so she called real quick to address the rumor. That part, that situation where he came in contact with his aunt and his mama, his aunt Sandra.
How you gonna speak to me? That's how you speak to me? I'd have hung up the phone. I ain't got to talk to you,
baby. I'm like,
because I'm just like, because my thoughts on her, she in the wrong too. So I don't know why she acting so high.
Hell yeah.
So sedity.
Hell yeah.
Like, I understand you want respect because you're older.
Exactly.
But the fact of the matter is, you in this shit too, because you knew and never said
Yeah.
a word.
Yeah. And she know. She
Yeah.
know. At that table, that meeting,
Yeah.
she was like, Deborah, he just wants to know the truth. Just
Exactly.
won't you tell the truth? Because obviously
Exactly.
you know what it is. It's written all over your
Exactly.
face that you know what it is. So won't you give
She
him
knew
what his
from jump.
mama can't? And tell the damn truth, man. Like, it's
She
like
knew
you
from
don't
jump.
understand all the stuff that this he has gone through since his childhood.
It's
Haven't
I
he
don't think
experienced enough pain for you to just like, dude, I ain't trying to kill nobody off, but you up in age. He's 53, so you up in age. Are you gonna like
she like
leave the
70,
earth with this
70
secret? Yeah, like, are you gonna leave the earth with this secret? Because
I think, you know what,
at
honestly, I
some
think
point,
so.
and it kind of seemed that way because at some point you said you want this relationship with your son. This is what I do. Look, Heifer, all he asked is for one thing. It's for you to say, this is what it is. With it, just say, this is what it is. We got 2 paternity tests right here. Just say, this is what the hell it is. And you can have your relationship with your son, your grandkids, and go on about your business. After 2 DNA tests, he even did a second DNA test to please her. Both of them came out the same, and you're still denying that this man is his father.
First of all,
Dog.
when that motherfucker said 99.99, once you got to that third 9, that's it.
That's it.
You know what? That's it. Ain't no way you can. It's beyond reasonable doubt in court. Beyond reasonable doubt. And so I'm like, when she said this ain't right, this is false, this is fake, I said, no, me personally, I said she's trying to save face. She's trying to keep her. She's being selfish. She's being totally selfish. She's keeping her image up. That she's not wrong.
And even in that, she trying to save face and protect her image, but your image is still being damaged. That's the part that I don't get. Because Rick said they dated.
Mm-hmm.
So we know that that's already established. Mm-hmm. He said that they were kids. So you know, back in the day when somebody came up pregnant, back in that day, they were shipping them off, or they putting you in hiding for a minute till you had the baby, and the baby is either your little brother, something like that along them lines to play it off. So like even in that, like, okay, so were you embarrassed because you was a teenage mom? It was so many years ago, baby. You gotta let it go. Like at some point, this has tortured your son. Like I don't know, like why you trying to save face, especially after 2 paternity tests. You can't save face no more. At this time, you looking real raggedy, like real raggedy.
Selfish.
And then you keep saying you want this relationship with your son. I mean, yeah, she on some straight fuck shit. Like, at the time she got there, by the time she hit that point with that cry, I was looking at her like this, bitch. 2, it's 2, bitch. 2. Come on, dog. 2. It's some other people that didn't accepted it or knew after that one. Yeah, they was, man, say the jig is up, man. I cheated.
But did you look at?
I was, they didn't already expose themselves and said what it was. Man, I was at night, blame it on the alcohol. Like, you too, and you still denying it. Like, why?
But what got me is not just the paternity test, but did you watch him and his dad's mannerisms? Did you watch? Do you notice that?
Yeah.
They had
Yeah.
the exact mannerisms,
Yeah.
and I'm just like, yo, that's your father, that's your dad. Like, and you can't deny that. They sat
Yeah.
the same way, like
Yeah.
literally sat the same way, crossed their legs the same way. Everything they did was the same way, and damn near almost talked the same way. And that's crazy for
Yeah.
them not to know each other.
Yeah, and not to have been around each other. And then when you
Yeah,
seen them on the last frame at the end when they're standing side by side, it's like, damn,
yes,
like all here, the lines in their face, everything. I was like, damn, that's wow.
yes.
Yeah, like come on, dog. Like, what's really going on? Like, I don't know. I don't get it. I don't. Women that lie about who their father, the kid's father is. I know in situations there's that, man, shit, I slept with the wrong one. This nigga ain't gonna do. Okay, goddamn, bite the bullet. Shit, like, hey,
You did it.
I mean, shit happens. I mean, shit happens. Hell, I got two of them my damn self, but they know who their hell fathers are. But hey, I got
Well,
two of them that
it's-
ain't.
I think
It
that's
just
just like,
is what it is. You just bite the bullet.
but in some
I
cases too,
mean,
it's like
you just bite the bullet, and as a mother, you do what you got to do. But
what I think in some cases too, though, women do that to to I don't want to say trap, but to get the man because they know they're gonna do right by them, or they honestly, and it's you see this on what's the name a lot too. They sleep with so many people around the same time, they don't know who it is. They honestly don't know who it is, and
yeah,
like
and I mean, and that's that part of where accountability kicks in. If you ain't sure, don't be like, "Hey, I'm pregnant. It's yours." If you're not sure, say, "Hey, look, I don't know if it's yours. We're gonna get this blood test and figure it out." But you number one of five. Like, be accountable because in the end, it hurts the kid. Like it hurts the kid
exactly
the most.
bottom
Out of
line.
anything. We know kids get attached to people. You think this person is your dad, and you're getting this love, or even in some situations where you're not getting that love because maybe that bond just ain't there like it should be, and you wondering why, and then you find out when 30 something later, 30 years later, that ain't your dad, and it's like, well, at least that makes sense. But why you lying? Like, why you just didn't tell the truth? Like, now this kid is sitting over here like lost. And then if you don't know who the possible second person is, you just strip that kid of
Everything.
what they knew to be a dad, and now it's just lost. Look how many times on paternity court when they had them sessions and it's all these men that are not the dad, or when they used to have Maury and DNA come back and the chick then been back 8 times and ain't neither of the 8 or the 16 dudes because they started doing 2, 3 at a time at one point
Yeah,
and figure out that's not the father. Like, how loose was you, Goose? Like, it was wide open. Like,
but
man, like, what's really going on? Like, there's a part that sometimes where you do have to be accountable. And if you don't know, you just don't know. Don't just pin it on somebody because
and it was
it's more detrimental.
and that's what I say is that's where the selfish part come in because everybody looks at that time looks at themselves. Oh, I can't look like a hoe. Oh, I can't believe I slept with that person. Or I can't da 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 da. But they're not looking at the outcome of that child.
Man, say
They're not looking at the fact that that child
there's some
gonna
people I
is
can't
gonna
believe
have
I slept
questions.
with too.
But they're still gonna have that child is gonna have questions. Like, who is my dad?
Yeah,
Why don't The question that I used to always ask before I met my father is, why don't my dad want me? And and if you don't have an answer for that, you're just creating another trauma for that child to deal with. It don't matter what you do. You can be Super Mom 1000. But if you don't have an answer for that, because every child, I don't care what it is, I don't care boy or girl, they need to know why. They need to know their father. They need to know why their father not there, and you can tell them, oh, your daddy ain't shit, but they have to see it for themselves to understand it.
Yeah, you're right.
And that's the most detrimental part, because as they grow older, that is going to define how they see, one, relationships, two, how they see the interaction between men and women, and then three, what type of person they're going to end up being. And those are the things that I got it. And when you're young, you don't think of that. When you're young and full of cum, you don't think of that shit. But as you get older, you start to see, because that child is going to start reaching out to, clinging on to, or seeking things to fill that void, or to try to help get through that trauma.
Yeah. Something Kevin said. He said, I was conflicted with the paternity of my son, but I never did it. But I do believe now I would swab his mouth to put this age-old question to rest. But I got love for my son. So, Kevin, I know it may be a lot to type, but I have a question for you. If you were able to go ahead and act on that, and you find out after what I think your son is like 20 something, early 20s. I don't think he's older than they. How would you feel about that? Because I know, y'all know I'm transparent as hell. So I remember my dad telling me this story that when I was born, he didn't think I was his, because my mom was a partier and out and about. So he snuck and took me to get tested to make sure that I, in fact, was his. So, of course, I am his. He looked just like me.
How about that? Y'all look like twins.
Yeah. So I am my father's child. But I remember him telling me that, and he still remember the doctor, the location, and everything. But that was something he told me that he did because it was in question. Because, of that reason. So that took that doubt out of his mind. It was heavy enough for him that he needed to know.
And
So,
and that's another aspect of it that we don't talk about. And I'm glad you brought I'm glad you brought that up, because like if you saw the reaction of his biological father, that shit, he was hurt. He was hurt. He got and I don't know if he got other kids or anything, but he was hurt because, again, it seemed like that was his firstborn. And so now he has a lot of questions. So now he's hurt because he's thinking one thing and it's something totally different. And he feels like he's lost 50-something years of connection with Kirk. And he may have 10, 20. And that's not fair.
No.
That's not fair at all.
He's definitely losing more than what he out on a lot. And the monumental part, and then not only that, the hardship that Kirk went through with him being homeless, him sleeping in cars, all that stuff. Those things possibly could have been avoided if his dad was in his life.
And he seems like, from me, just from what I saw, he seems like a good dude. So I think a lot of the hardships that Kirk went through would not have happened if he was in his life. I don't think he would have been homeless. The lessons he learned from all the shit that happened, which we can probably say created Kirk Franklin. So it's now thinking about it, it might be a gift and a curse at the same time, because if it's a possibility that if all of that would have went that way, he found him early and blah 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 blah, might not have Lil John a gospel. He might, yeah, he just might be,
and that may have been that road that if he went down that road would have happened. This wouldn't have happened over here. So
that journey right. He had to
and
take.
We may never know. Yeah, and we may never know, but you know, it's one of those things of man, them the not knowing.
Yeah, I mean, and mine wasn't to that extreme, but shit, I used to hear stories about my father. I didn't meet mine until I was 18. I talked to him every once in a while. Got told the same shit. Yeah, I'm gonna come get you. Blah blah blah. Never happened. Whatever. So I understand to a point that missing piece. And sometimes I wonder, would it have been better not to know him at all versus like hearing from him every once in a while, getting lied to a lot. So it is what it is. So, but it's
yeah.
That whole thing is rough.
Go ahead. Yeah. So Kevin said it's been 25 years, and if I find out he's not my blood, so be it. But I can't hold him responsible. Oh, definitely you can't. I mean,
so then my question to you, Kevin, is why haven't you done it? If it's a question, why haven't you done it?
While we're waiting on that response, while watching this and even having this discussion, brings forth, like, I think about my son. My son, his father had only only seen him 3 times in his life. 2 of the times he was like 18 months and he was asleep at the time. Visually being able to see him and being aware to put face to face, look him in the eye. He didn't meet his father until he was 10. And it was at his 10-year-old birthday party. He's contacted over the years, not consistently. Like you said, like your dad, a lot of broken promises. Hey, I'm gonna come see him. Hey, I'm ready to meet him. No show, nothing happened. He recently met it. Well, a couple of years ago, I took him to meet his siblings. His dad chose not to be a part because he was in his feelings. That we arranged a meeting, even though we tried to include him, he didn't want to be included at the time. So he was in his feelings. So he did everything to try to sabotage again, with trying not to have all the kids involved. But thankfully, which I always appreciate, their mothers were more than on board with them meeting my son. The older 2 boys were of age, so couldn't stop that. But even as I look at it now, like he adores his siblings. He wants a relationship with them. All of them are kind of spread out, so I don't know when they'll see each other. They do, calls or whatever when it aligns. Now that he knows, because my son told his siblings, I don't mind having a relationship with you, but I don't want to have a relationship with him. It's kind of funny that I guess since August kind of hit, normally I hear from him twice a year. August hit, I didn't hear from him about 4 times. Hey, how's he doing? Hey, just wanted to wish him, hope he have a good day today. Tell him I love him. hey, just the vice, little stuff like that. Hey, how's his week going? How's he doing? He good? And I'm like, he's good. His mama's gonna make sure he's good. He's good. Um, but he's just like when I relate a message to him and he just be like, yeah, tell him hi. And he be like, hey, he blah blah blah. He said I love you. And he's like, that's cap. How he loved me, but he left me. I'm like that goes back to what you said when you can't answer those questions that come up because I can't answer that.
You can't, and you're not
So
supposed to. I mean,
yeah,
you're not supposed to. Like that is not your role to answer them questions. And the sad part about it is, and I say this, sad part about it is, if you are a good mother, you are put in a very hard place because you know the reality of it, but you're trying to save face for your son's sake, and you're trying to save him from the heartache, but what you're doing is creating more heartache. Like when you don't tell him, or you say, well, your dad is busy, or da 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 da, you're creating more heartache because it's coming from you.
I don't do that part.
Well,
I
I'm just
learned
saying,
that
I'm not
from.
saying you. I'm
I
not
know,
saying you.
and believe me, I know what you're saying, but I learned that with my oldest,
Yeah.
not
But
to do that.
but like I was
So
saying, it's coming from
that
you
was a.
and not that person.
I got
And
you.
not from
Oh, I know.
from
I
yeah.
got you.
And like
That's why I let him see the messages. Hey, he sent a message and he'll just look and I'm like, you want to hear it or you don't? He was like, I guess. I just read it off. And like I say, it's up to him to respond. But I know like he said, which he's aware of, the kids told him he don't want to have nothing to do with it. So it's like I'm like, you show messaging like this a record. 4 times in like a month, that's a record. You don't
and it
communicate.
could and it could be a lot of reasons. It could be a lot. It could be a change of heart. It could be a whole bunch of reasons. Good reasons, bad reasons, whatever. I mean, it's
Yeah.
up, and that's up to. And I hate to say it, like it's up to Santi to open that door or close it. I mean, because he's
Yeah,
he's
and it
left him.
is because I,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah,
But
because
what tends to
I
happen
won't
is like,
choose that. That's not my place.
yeah. But what tends to happen, and like Kirk Franklin's
But
case, his mom is stood in that doorway. Like
yeah,
she's the. To me, it seems like she is the one not allowing that to happen. And I think, and just this is just me thinking about the whole situation. I think she's more upset at the fact that one, she knows she messed up. Two, she know that the guy that is his father would have probably done good by him.
yeah,
And three, the fact that for whatever reason they fell out 20 something years ago, she thought it was all gonna blow over and it was gonna open up. And when it didn't go the way she thought, that's why she's upset because that's all she said. She wanted her son back, but she wasn't gonna tell him the truth.
nah. Yeah, and I mean, like you said, it may be hard when you realize that person is not going to be the person you would like them to be or the person that your child needs, but to just keep it a buck, like the lie is heavier a lot of times than what the truth is. Like
Facts.
I could take the truth that he looking like he ain't shit. Oh, like he out here doing this. I can take that better than you lying and saying, "Oh, like it's some moms that are told they kids that the dad died, and then some
Come to
kind of way
find
in
out,
life they
yeah.
cross paths and it's looking like the hell." Like for me, it's never crossed my mind to not tell my kids who their biologicals were, no matter what kind of person they turned out to be after they were already created or born. It never crossed my mind to say, "Oh, he died," or "Oh, whatever." No, hey, this who it is. Hey, this is, you know, I knew shit right after I got pregnant. I already knew his dad wasn't gonna be around. And it was like, well, shit, too late. Gotta bite the bullet. Do what I gotta do, and that's what I've done. What I
And
had to do. He's always had a way to get in contact with me. Hey, I'm gonna come see him. Pop up after 7 years when he really started communicating. Hey, I'm gonna come see him. No show, no show, no show. And even after he seen him when he was 10, no show, no show, no show, no show, no show. So it's like, okay, you keep lying to this kid. He done got the case of the fuckers already. He doesn't care. Now he's really like, shit, you left. You don't follow through. I'm good. And I know he wants that. He wants a dad. I know he wants a dad. That's that missing piece because he don't have males in his life like that. Yeah, he got uncles and all that, but they don't uncle.
sometimes the uncles are the worst one.
They just as invisible as his father is. And that's
Yeah.
being real in case any of my brothers are watching this podcast tonight. That is real. Nobody's coming to
But
get him taking it in the basketball games, football games, or doing that stuff. So, and that's just being real. Uncles don't uncle. And I'm not that one that don't give access. Like me, like with my niece, my niece, that's my baby. I love her to pieces. I treat her like I treat my kids. That's my heart. If I have access to my nieces and nephews, they got their auntie 110. And I don't have access to all my nieces and nephews.
but
So it's
sometimes,
that.
but sometimes we look at things through our, well, we have to because that's all we know. We look at things through our experiences. Um, everybody's experience, even though it could be the exact same events, sequence of events could happen. There still could be different. They could be experienced different. And
Yeah,
I was just thinking about how what Marvin said is about it's a lot of people it's a lot of men out there like that. Yeah, it is. I mean, because if there wasn't, we wouldn't have we was having this conversation. But on the flip side, there's a lot of women out there that do that shit too. There's a lot of women that won't tell somebody that they're pregnant and just have a baby and tell that baby, "Oh, your daddy is XYZ or whatever, whatever. Oh, he don't care about you." And then by the time they find out that she had a child by such and such, like how Kirk found out. Kirk was at a what it was cousin was at a funeral,
yeah.
and this
Somebody
guy,
was at a funeral.
yeah,
Yeah,
and it's just a random conversation ended up being rumors. That's how he found out. So until they find out, it's just like they living their lives. They're like, okay, moving on. They don't know they got kids
yeah.
like that, and it's just like, and the, and it, and at times like that, and it's you don't know who one. We on the outside looking in don't know who to believe. Period. Like,
True.
but at the end of the day, is the the impact of that missing piece from that child, good or bad. Like some
Yeah,
kids grew up without fathers, turned into be phenomenal people, like phenomenal people, like world changing people. Some people grew up without fathers, turned out to be some of the biggest gangsters. Like you just don't know what that missing piece does. That missing piece does, but I still say it's not
Yeah.
fair to that child to deny them the knowledge of that parent, regardless if you like them or not, regardless of whatever happened. It's not fair. If I understand. I don't condone violence and abuse and stuff like that, but still don't deny it. Don't deny the child the knowledge of their father. That's just me. And it's yeah.
Yeah. So Kevin did respond. He said, it's been nothing but arguments with me and his mother. I guess when I held my son and looked at him, I felt the connection and I never did do it. Marvin said, it's crazy how kids got to be collateral damage at times, especially when one was trying to make it work.
That yeah. It's not at times, it's all the time. Like anytime shit like that happen, yeah. That's crazy.
Marvin said, I thought I was going to be the next Jamie Foxx or Ray Lewis without my pops, but God said, you thought.
Facts. I agree. I'm still trying to figure out why God got me here. Why I had to go through what I went through in life. What it is. I'm here.
You know, in a few cases, in different cases, I think all of us in that situation. Like, you know, people that have been here have seen. I've had my dad on the podcast before, but my dad was one of those folks that was like absently present. I've always known who my dad was, but he ain't always around. So it was like where my dad was more active than my mom in my earlier years. Once he got married, his presence drifted, and it drifted more over the years. So we've had some rough times over the years, times when we didn't speak 3-4 years at a time, because I was just like, for me, over the bullshit, because I saw the different treatment. And I'm like, okay, I've always been here, but you ain't always been here. And then, you know, when you get married to somebody and they favor their kids and not your kids, that line gets drawn in the sand.
That would create
So that creates a whole different situation.
Yeah, buddy. Cause when you said that, the first thing popped in my head was, which one is worse?
Yeah, and I was thinking of that, like when I watched it twice, and I was like, damn, which one is worse? Not having a father or having a father that's not actively present. Like, you know who your dad is, you live in the same city, maybe a couple of miles away. Like, is that worse when you can't go to your dad's house like you want to just to see your dad? You know, you're limited to the access of your dad. Like, which is worse? Because like we used to do holidays, and we don't do holidays in my dad's no more, because his children outside of the marriage is not welcome.
That's a whole nother topic. A whole nother topic.
So
that's a whole nother topic.
Yeah, it's a totally different ball game, and it's hard when you can't explain. Well, I'll say it's hard when. No, I'll say that. I'll say it's hard when you have to try to explain that to your kids and they don't get it. Like my daughter knows now, she's experienced it. My son, he don't quite get it. It's like, what? Like in my son's mind, he has his stuff set up where, you know, everybody's still supposed to be together. Mommy and daddy's supposed to be together, grandma and grandpa's supposed to be together, you know, those kind of things. But yeah, we're just that is a great question. Is it which is worse? And I can only speak on for me, with me being a daddy's girl. Um, that I mean, like they say, sometimes not knowing is better, but I think it's a different kind of pain when you know, and then there's a source of rejection,
Yeah. Yeah.
and you being
It's a
thrown in the
different
back
type of
seat or
rejection.
thrown away,
Yeah, it's a different
and you
type of
know,
rejection.
yeah, it's like, oh, you chose them over me, but I was first.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So that pain runs a little deep. And then when you have that rejection, you start getting that anger and that grudge and that bitterness from the
Mm-hmm.
situation. Yeah. It's a different pill.
Mm. Yeah, that's this whole thing is like it 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 makes me wonder about
How many more kids you got? Not just kidding.
actually no funny story. Some like long time shit. I wasn't even I think I was I in the military? Nah, I wasn't in the military. I think I was about to go to the NFL and somebody tried to put a kid on
Oh,
me. Said I
that
was
makes
about to huh? Yeah, said she was pregnant with my child and da 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 da. Uh, and I was like, okay. And I said, okay, I'll take care of it, blah, 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 XYZ. Come to find out that it wasn't my, well, first of all, the first one, she wasn't pregnant. The second one, it wasn't mine, it was somebody else's. And I was just like, hmm. And I'm glad I found out prior to like getting attached to the child. Because I think
mm,
that would have ended badly for me. Because going through what I went through as a child, I would have reacted in a very angry way. Because like, why
mm,
would you do that to somebody? Why would you do that to the kid for one, and then why would you do that to somebody who's experienced that for two? Like,
exactly.
what kind of sadistic motherfucker are you? But it's people out there who do it. It's women out here who do it all the
A lot
time.
of Yeah, it's a lot of sadistic
Yeah.
motherfuckers. Like real talk. Like real, real talk. Like the more that I see the incidents that come up in the news of this man been married to this woman for 20 some years and gets all 6 kids tested and he's not the dad, and then he didn't cut her head off.
Yeah.
Like you'd be like, okay, so who actually
Who's the
was he
victim?
wrong for
Like,
cutting the head off, or was she wrong
who's
for
the
lying?
victim?
Like you can't
Yeah.
you can't weigh it. You can't weigh that because there's
Mm-mm.
a point where there's a point where you didn't lost it. You didn't checked all the way out. You ain't in
Yeah.
your right damn mind,
It's called temporary insanity.
and I don't even think that would be temporary. I think that's just straight insanity because I don't know if you can come back from that. Like after you didn't click to that level, I don't think you can come back
You can
from
come.
that.
You can come back. You can come back for it because it's like I hate to say it, like an out of body experience. When you
Hmm.
can come back now, you will be remorseful, very remorseful, because at the end of the day, if you reacted that way, you had some type of bond or relationship with them kids. And that's why
Yeah,
you reacted like that. Like this woman lied to me. Oh, these kids that I love, like I would put down my life for. And then once everything settles, that second wave of remorse will hit because now you're looking like, fuck, I done killed these kids' mother, and now they really don't have nobody. When
yeah,
if I just kept my cool, they would have they would at least had me. You know what I'm saying?
yeah,
At least had their mother.
yeah, yeah. But
So
that moment, and like I say, is sadly, I know in the last couple of months, I didn't seen about 8 or 9 situations where that's happened, and that's what's from being reported. And I'm just like, damn, like, damn, like you rather had put yourself at risk to be without your kids because now you didn't got killed versus telling this man the truth.
telling the truth, and I guess, and I got it. I guess. Well, I don't know. I was like
They
everybody
say the
lie.
truth. They say the truth. Everybody lie. But come on, we all know. Let's be real. We got little lie. You got big lie. You got black lie. You got white lie. Is some of them
That's why
big
I'm like
lies don't need to be lies. Like they said, the truth shall set you free. Some of them.
I don't know. Like I really don't. Because now the thing that's in my head now is like, why? I wish we had somebody I could ask somebody like, why lie?
Yeah,
Or
because
just tell them like, I don't know who your daddy is. I got a train ran on me and I don't know who it is. Or I was out there and slept with multiple men in a short time frame and I don't know who it is. Well, I yes
yeah.
I do. Let me stop. I know why, because that'll paint them in a bad light. That's
But
what it
either
is.
way, they're still getting painted in a bad light, though. That's
It's
if you
but
tell them. But I think one is more tolerable than the other versus me saying, "Hey, mama was drunk as fuck. I slept with a few different people. I can't even have a number." Versus coming back later and saying, "Hey,
mm,
yeah, this dude is your daddy," and then turn out he not your daddy. Like,
it's the momentary thing. I don't know. I like I'm not saying that's the answer. I'm just throwing shit out there because I don't know.
yeah, me too.
I
Because
want to know.
I tried to not I tried to make sense of situations that could have happened for her not to be honest.
Yeah,
And I was like, okay, well, maybe it was, and I ain't even saying allegedly, but back then a lot of times somebody might say, hey, I was raped, I was molested, something, baby came,
yeah,
blah blah. Maybe you don't want to dig that up because that brings trauma.
yeah,
I was trying to think of different scenarios where she could just keep wanting to save face without not accepting the 2 DNA tests that are positive and saying, hey, you the daddy. Like I was running all these different scenarios. I'm like, okay, maybe she was embarrassed because she was a teenager, and maybe she didn't know who the daddy was. Maybe she slept with somebody before Rick. Maybe she slept with somebody after Rick. Like, but she's adamant. No, he ain't it. Nope, he is. I guarantee he is
that's
not
what's
your
getting
daddy.
me.
And I'm like,
That's what's
so
getting
who
me.
the hell is? If you guaranteeing, then who the hell is? Because
That's what's
stepdaddy was
getting
not
me.
in. So who the hell is, like, I had so many questions from watching this documentary. I needed more information because I'm like, how did he get
Yeah,
into foster care in the first place? Like,
that is what's getting me. That
dump him
part right there.
somewhere? Like, how did he get there? Like, it was still some other pieces I need. Like, I need him to do another part because I like I said, I had so
Yeah,
many questions. Like, how did he get to this place where he was with this woman that was a
yeah,
distant relative? Like, how did we get here? Because it meant, like I say, it hit me in a different way the more I watched it as we went along. Because one of the things that got me. Like, he made special accommodations after she didn't accept the first test and went and got a second test. They sitting there, and one thing I would say this I love about Mr. Rick was he told Kurt, I didn't know, I didn't expect it, but I can accept that I have a 53-year-old son, and we can move at your pace, because this isn't about me, this is about you. And whoever you choose to bring in with you, I have enough love for everybody. That man right there spoke with no remorse. Besides him being cheated out of 53 years and his son, he still spoke with no hate in his heart for Deborah.
Yeah.
Like, he's still like, hey, we can move at your pace. I'm here. And I went through and looked at the comments. Like, from the comments, somebody commented in there, he's a well-respected man in that community. He's like the top drug addiction counselor. Like, they give him praise for being this drug addiction counselor that he is. And they're like, he is the best. Mr. Rick is amazing. Like, he make a good dad. Like, it makes sense. Kind of like, damn. I'm like, and I'm looking, I'm like, damn, he really missed out on.
But that just adds more to the fire, because he's like that in the community. And look how Kirk Franklin is in the gospel community. It's like almost mirrored. Now you can, like, that's wild. That's just
yeah. And it's crazy, because I was like, damn. And when he told his mom, and I had to write this down, because he said, you not knowing how to love made me not know how to love. When I tell you that he's different, and I could relate to it, I was like, damn. And he even said he loved in fear.
Yep.
And he loved in a way because he was trying to be accepted. But even at 53, this man still don't know what love is, because
he's learning.
He's learning, but he still don't fully know, because his mom didn't know how to love.
And you know what? And I think that right there is the blanket of the Black community. Why we have so many issues. So many issues.
I remember having a conversation a couple of years ago with one of my exes, and he wanted to reconcile. And me being where I was on this healing journey and just piecing stuff together, I remember telling him, and I think I was about 40, and I was like, at 40, I could be seriously honest and say that outside of me loving my kids, that I didn't know how to love. I didn't know what love was. And I was 40. I'd been in few long aged relationships. And I was like, damn, did I really love them, or did I love what they brought in? And I say that as me having a person that's there, me having a person to do stuff with, somebody that I felt like they cared. I love maybe those things, but I questioned if I really loved them. But like I said, when I really put the pieces together, for me, I felt like I didn't know how to love, or really what love was, outside of my kids. My kids are part of me. They came from me. Like, how could I not love them? Those are my babies. Those are my hearts. But for me, that staple, that's something for me that growing up, I never felt like my mom loved me. So for me, that was that seed, the love and the that nurturing that I did get, I got from my dad and I got from my grandmother. For me growing up, my
Mm.
grandmother was mama to me.
Yep. And that was
So
a lot of that in that black community too.
exactly. So she was that main, like, real nurturer for me. Um, but I didn't get that first what I should have got from my mom. So that I was like, when he said that, I was like, damn, that, that shit kind of hit you in the throat a little bit. Like,
It do. Cause you
damn.
be like, okay.
Yeah, I was like,
Okay.
I didn't. Like I said, I there was parts I had to rewind while I watched this and um everything. And I was just like, oh, like, yeah, it hit me in a it definitely hit me in a different way
In a
watching it.
special place.
Yeah. And then they talked about how when it comes into a situation where a baby is created, the baby gets dropped. Mom knows, of course, we know who mom is, but
Mm-hmm.
who the dad is in question. So in the
Mm-hmm.
end, in the end of the situation, the baby gets dropped.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, yeah, like, yeah. Like I said, it was a few different things that really hit and resonated with me while I watched it. Um, but I'm glad that he got the ending that he got, because in the
Mm-hmm.
end, the other piece to that was him. That was an issue that was also between him and his son. Was his
Yeah.
lack of having a father had an issue with him and his son. So when he was
Mm-hmm.
able to realize that, he went and got in touch with his to apologize to his own son.
Mm-hmm.
Now you know black people, black parents, and I'm gonna say black parents. It's a
We don't
whole
like to
lot of
apologize.
black people that don't apologize because they feel that the parenting they did is the parenting they did. They're not apologetic. They're not gonna apologize because they're gonna say they didn't know do nothing wrong. They raised you, you still goddamn alive. Hopefully you was out of jail or whatever, and it wasn't in no issue, but they're not gonna apologize for whatever went wrong or for whatever. I don't care if they lied about who your daddy was, if they changed your name, whatever. They're not going to apologize. That is like a
Not at all.
staple in the black community. And I ain't apologizing to you for shit. Don't ask me for shit. I ain't telling you shit. Shit is what it is, and that's how it was. And my mama told me that recently. She's like, I ain't apologizing for shit. It is what it is. Whatever was whatever. This. If you don't like it, okay, you just gonna have to fucking deal with it because you're not gonna get an apology from me for anything. And I was like, well,
That's
you're not
wow.
telling me nothing I don't really know. I was like, I already know I wasn't getting no apology. So I mean, I already know because my mom will tell you she's picture perfect all the way around in life, health, living, whatever. She's picture perfect in life, and she has done no wrongs in life. It's like, thanks, career point. Hope. So I'm reading what you just wrote. We've talked over the years. So for you to say that your mom apologized to you, that is monumental. And I am happy that you got that. That's amazing. And I'm so happy that you got that. Real talk. Very happy that you got that. That's what's up. Wow. Wow. I ain't gonna say that give me hope, but I'm
It should.
glad
I
you
mean, I think
right,
honestly, I
right.
think like when you talk about everything's gonna come to head. I think a lot of the times when shit happens to people and when shit happens to us, we want it. We want that apology. We want that that after school special ending when we want it, and not it's not always gonna end that way. It's not gonna happen that way. But we have to be open to when it comes, when we get it, to accept it and move on, not be upset because it didn't come when we wanted it. When I needed it, y'all didn't get it. But that's not the point. The point was you wanted it. Now that you're getting it, you mad because you didn't get it when you want to. So what's the real issue there?
Well,
And I'm saying
sometimes they say sometimes it's too late.
this. Why?
But for
It's
some,
never too
but
late.
just being honest, and that's not true. Sometimes for
How is it
some
too late?
people, it's too late. Maybe
You
they've
stop
already got
breathing?
it done and made amends and accepted it for what it is because they tell you, a lot of people tell you now, life coaches and whatever, they'll tell you sometimes you have to be okay. You have to make amends with not getting that apology. You have to accept it, but you may never get that apology. For some
And that,
people, if they on this healing journey or in therapy or whatever, some people have already accepted that. And sometimes you get it and it may didn't come, ain't gonna come with the rainbows and ribbons and stuff that you wanted. And sometimes it may not even be that fashion where you really think it's actually a real apology. But that's up to that person. Because
yeah,
a lot of people do deathbed confessions. Like they be like, "Why you want to tell me that? Because you're dying. Why you couldn't tell me this
that's
to me
fine.
2 years ago?"
I guess that's me. I guess that's me. That's like
It depends
shit.
on the
It's fine. As long as you've done it, like as long as it's done. Cause like I said, I know people that get mad. Well, when I came to you, you just blew me off. Blah 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 blah. Like, but were you wanting an apology, or you want them to feel the pain that you felt? Which one is it? Because if you want an apology, if you came and they didn't give it to you, okay, walk the fuck off. I'm just saying that from me because it's like how is that going to change everything that happened to you in the past? This is not Willy Wonka. This is not what's a uh none of the stuff where you say something and all of magically everything happens and things change and you get elevated to nah. All that is closing one door in your life and you just keep it moving.
life is not a fairy tale.
Nah. I mean it can be, but life is what we make it. Like granted good, bad, indifferent. Life is what we make it. Once we get to a point in your life once we get to the point in life where we're we have control and understanding, then everything else should be null and void. Yes, you may didn't know who your father was or who your parents were. Yes, all of this stuff happened to you, but now that you have that you went through it and understanding, now what are you gonna do? That's where I'm at. That's where I think that's how I see stuff now. And it took years for me to get there.
Yeah, and that's the thing. A lot of times, the people you want apologies from aren't there.
Thank you.
Everybody's journey is different. You may be on your healing journey; they may not have gotten there yet. And I'm sure at
Mhm.
some point we were at a point where we probably owed somebody an apology, and we was not there yet. Because
And
hey,
now
like I said, we have that in us where we don't believe we should apologize for
mhm.
anything.
I don't owe you shit. I
As
don't owe you no apology.
exactly, and
You're exactly
I would
right.
say, and I say this as parents. we're not picture perfect.
Mm-mm.
We're still human. We make mistakes. I'm sure in a lot of situations our intentions are good, but sometimes we fail on our own intentions.
Mm-hmm.
And when you acknowledge that, I think there's nothing wrong with saying, "Hey, I'm sorry. I fell short, and I'm sorry."
And see,
Uh,
that's the difference. They don't owe you an apology, but they feel they need to give you an apology. That's just the difference. And
I
that's why
think
I
there's
think
some places where we should be old. It's some old apologies.
no, they don't owe you an apology. It's just they feel the need to apologize. People don't owe you nothing.
No, yeah,
But and I think that's and now we talking about. I think that's where Kirk's mom is. She feel like she done what she had to do, and
I
she didn't
think
do
she,
no wrong.
I think she holding that secret in a headlock. She got that mug in a headlock.
And it could be she mad because he the one that got away.
You do have them situations too.
Yeah, she could be mad that he the one that got away. Like you said, like thinking about what you were saying about in the comments about how everything was how he's prominent in the neighborhood and everything. She probably mad about
Yeah.
her. That's the one that got away. And it be like that sometimes. Y'all crazy. Something wrong with that.
Hope said she was owed an apology. So hey, like I said, me and Hope have talked, and I've been a witness um in some situations. So I I agree. It's some parts where you're owed an apology. Apology needs to be given. Parents, we're not perfect. Our parents aren't perfect, but you know, because I don't care if it came with instructions. Them it's hey, it's some monkey wrenches thrown in life that ain't in them book of instructions. So hey, like I said, not perfect. I know I ain't, but hey, I'm just saying. So yeah. Oh man. Um. Okay, Kev, you got me going with you tonight. Is that from an honest place, or is that from a place where you've accepted it? Because I know
Oh,
you talk about your mom high on how she's taking care of you and your brothers. So yeah, answer that for me, please.
mm,
And while you answer that, we can go ahead and get ready to close out. And what is your you got an outro for tonight?
I
Something you want
mean,
to say?
well, part of my outro is if you haven't seen uh Kirk Franklin's documentary, you need it's a jerker, it's a tear jerker. It had my eyes sweating a little bit because
Oh,
I can relate to a lot of the feelings and emotions and stuff that he had going through this journey, and not only as a child that seeking that connection with his father, but as a father who had to fight to have a connection with his son. So I understand it. Um, to add to this, every child that's brought on this earth is somebody's child, regardless if you want them or not. That child is somebody's child. They deserve the right to know who the parent is, good, bad, or indifferent. If you gave them up for adoption, that's fine, understood. But I think you should at least give them the opportunity to know their lineage. A lot of us in the black community, first of all, us as black people have been implanted here, transplanted here. So we don't have the lineage past X amount of years. We know we're just black here. We don't know where we from. We can't say what country we're from. That's the first part. So let's not add to that by not knowing who our father is, who our mother is, not allowing a child to experience both parents, good or bad. If he's a dickhead, dope dealer, whatever, let them experience that and let them decide if they want to have a relationship with them or not. If they're violent, again, let them decide. Let them decide. So that's just, and I think if we do that, I think our next generation and generations after that will be okay. That's it.
Okay, so Kevin answered. He said he's accepted it. So see, Kevin, I don't even like you tonight because you got me asking questions. So could it be possible you not having your dad around is maybe why you question the paternity of your son?
Part two. Let's get it.
I'm just curious. See, y'all get so I would say this. Yeah, this was a little heavier than I thought it was gonna be. But you know, we like to have these discussions and be transparent on this podcast. So it is what it is. Somebody probably go tell on me, but it's all right, because guess what? I'm the black damn sheep any damn way. So I'm cool with it. But like real talk, ladies, like we all make mistakes in life. We tend to choose wrong, make bad decisions. We are still human. So no matter if you did sleep with some guy that you knew wasn't shit, just because you needed to get yours that night, maybe your Rose charger broke or something. I don't know. But just be honest. Don't accuse somebody or give somebody the responsibility of a child and it doesn't belong to them. Like that is so detrimental. I know my brother still wears that scar because that little girl is still walking around here with his last name and the name that I gave her on top of that. And my mama was supposed to get her name changed and never. So she's walking around here with the last name, like literally with the last, yeah, with my damn daddy's last name on top of that. So yeah. But you know, that's just, you know, and that still bothers her at a point because, you know, they're for her, you know, she got cheated. Like she kind of got cheated twice. So, you know, that still, you know, sits with her in a certain way as well. Um, but let's just be honest. Like our kids are going to experience so many different things in life. That shouldn't be one that they have to experience. That's a whole different hurt. A lot of times as parents, we try to avoid our kids from a lot of experiences and from going down the wrong road because maybe we experienced those things. So that's one of those things that we definitely could avoid them having to experience because that shapes them different, whole lot of different, you know, different. Them daddy issues is real, realer than Holyfield. Um, so oh hell, I don't even know what them two shits is for right there. But yeah. So just be honest, you know. Just be honest. Because you know, that's something that that can cause you to not only you lose your life, but in a wrong situation that can cause you and your kids to lose their lives. Because like at a point, man, it's like, hey, ain't my kids. Well, what's that saying? Fuck them kids. Ain't my kids. All from you telling a lie. So, and that ain't a little lie either. So that's a big, big lie. But it's a big lie that has sadly become extremely common because paternity court, they keep shows consistently. Shows. Yeah. So we're going to definitely close out. Are we doing Thursday this week? What day we doing? Because we're working with your schedule these next 2 weeks. So,
for sport or just in general?
No,
For sports,
this week because you got away games the next 2 weeks.
Yeah, Thursday's fine.
Okay, so we will be back Thursday if we ain't blamed DW. So we should be back Thursday. Don't know what damn topic we putting together, but I'm gonna make him work since he got us adjusting the schedule for the next 2 weeks. So if he inbox you about being a guest, go ahead and respond. But yeah, we'll work on it. But definitely, if anything, tune into the page, website, subscribe, like, share, all that wonderful, beautiful stuff. Keep out the website, leave a comment. We greatly appreciate it. And of course, we always appreciate y'all for supporting the podcast. We got some riders that have been with us since day one, including my pain in the butt, but gracious co-host that has been riding with me since the first season, episode 1. So I appreciate him as well. Tune in. Hope y'all have a wonderful week. Please be careful because flu and some other shit is coming and out here in the wonderful ass streets. But yeah, tune in when y'all get the notification, because I know when I do the what's the names, you get the notification that we're coming on too. So on that note, we are out.
Yeah, what's up with it? Do it cause I love it and I stuck with it. We ain't with the subbing in the cut with it. Please none of the talks, I heard enough of it. Like, what you gonna do? Where you at? Who you with? You ain't really about this, don't talk about it.